Just going live on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Hello. It's me. I'm back again. I'm streaming very frequently now, eh? No more one stream and then, oh, I do this again, and then 3 months. Hello, welcome. Hey, Palgan, how's it going? We're on Twitch and YouTube. Ooh, how exciting! So, how long has it been since V1? That's a good question. Let's try and work that out. That's not what I wanted. So V1 was on the 4th of March. It's been over a month since we've had a release, which probably implies that Gleam is a dead language. No, it's okay. Look, there's a commit an hour ago. That's probably fine. Yeah, so it's about time. We've got loads of stuff in here, in main. Gosh, absolutely tons of stuff. So it's going to be not much coding this time, I think. I wanted to just release a release candidate of version 1.1, but then Jack, who probably implemented like, I don't know, a third of this, was like, oh, do I have time to fit one more thing in? So yeah, maybe I won't push the button at the beginning of the stream. We'll see if Jack can get stuff in before then. But I always do a release post every time. This is something I do which I'm very happy with. Look at this lovely new styling someone added. They added it as like I think it was for their college, for their their college degree or something. They had to do an open source pull request, and so they added loads of stuff to the website. It was really nice of them. But yeah, we always do these nice posts that sort of explains a bit like, what is Gleam, why might you be interested, really quickly, and then just goes through the changelog and gives you a bunch of details so you can understand everything even without being super familiar with the language. So I want to go through this, which is like quite hard to follow, honestly, and then distill it into something like this. And then when we've got that, we can, we'd be ready for the full release. I normally do like the release candidate first and then this, but yeah, Jack told me to wait. We'll see how quickly he gets it done, eh? So let's do some stuff. Where can I find this? So everything since V1 is that. Let's go over to the website. Oh, I'm gonna need to put this stuff that's annoying because my paste buffer now has the stuff I want to paste into the file that doesn't exist yet. Okay, let's do this the old-fashioned way. So what is it? It's April. That's the 4th month, and it is the 8th. Should we just say like the 15th or something? Dear Louis, I humbly request the word type be allowed to be used as the property of a record. What do you do in other languages? Like loads of languages, type is a keyword. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, you could start a discussion. It is possible, I think. I'm not sure it's better. because you would get. Well, no, you can't do it today. I know you can't do it today, but it would be It might be possible to add, but then like that field would get syntax highlighted wrong. That would be annoying, unless you're using tree sitter. Tree sitter could probably handle it. Excuse me. All the other passes would need to be made more complicated. So, what do we call this? So let's look at let's go back to Gleam and see what we've got. So what's the really exciting stuff? Optimizations, optimization, fix. I mean, it's just loads of little nice things. Like, there's nothing. Oh, we've got bun support. That's kind of cool. But there's not like a big like, oh, this is the feature everyone's excited by. I always would try to name the new releases after like whatever the most exciting thing is. But I don't think we have something like that this time, do we? Yeah, it's just like loads and loads of nice little things. I love Gleam so far. I'm a bit confused since outside it's advertised as a language for the Beam, but inside it's a language for JavaScript and the Beam. Yeah, where was that advertising you saw that talks about the Beam? I do try and talk about both, but maybe it's some older stuff, or people tend to focus on the Beam stuff because like that's the novel thing. If you're like, oh, it's a statically if you say like, oh, it's a statically typed language that compares to JavaScript, you're like, so? Like, what makes that different from TypeScript or Elm or PureScript or Reason or Rescript or Haskell or Scala or Kotlin or there's a lot of them, right? You know, it's hard to, you can't really stand out in that market from just that. For instance, file I/O is limited because of that. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? We've got a package that does file I/O on both platforms. Simpler files, very nice. Formatter stuff. That's a very cool feature. Dependencies that use Erlang only bit options when now compiled in JavaScript. That's very cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a load of little things. There's nothing like, there's no single really sexy thing that we can easily use to like, you know, be the figurehead of the entire release, I think. It's just going to be like boom, 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 boom. Limited functionality. I need to call the Erlang file module at the end. Yeah. I mean, that's just that no one's made a library for it, right? I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, if we didn't have the JavaScript backend, that situation wouldn't be different. Maybe some language server stuff. Is that all we have in the language server? Go to definitions now works for dependency modules. That's really cool. Completions are provided for module imports. That is also really cool. Nice neon. Thank you. I really like this. Like, oh, let's get rid of that. Stop that. Let's get. Yep. I really like this. Like that it says like, "Hello, Joe." I spent way too much time making that that artwork. Okay, so yeah, maybe we just say like Gleam version 1.1. Like maybe that's fine for now. Hey Ian, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. YouTube chat's more chatty than Twitch chat today. Ooh, everything's flipping around. Subtitle. Heels? Heels? Is that spell heels? Maybe this is the wrong one to use as the foundation because it has like loads of other stuff in it. Let's look at an older one and see what comes up. Nope, that's not what I want. Let's look at an older one that is about release. Nope, that's been published. Oops, no. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm not sure what the shortcut I do to do that is. Can I learn Gleam as my first coding language? You can. In some ways, it's a really good first language because it's like very small and concise, and the tooling's very easy. The problem with learning Gleam as a first language is there's not much material for it. Like so commonly, so Gleam the language is easy to learn, but there isn't a book that will teach you it. There's not a book that would teach you programming with Gleam, so that's a problem. So right now it's probably not the best choice, but once people have written those books, then it will be a really good choice, I think. It's Pilf the trucker. Oh my gosh, I do look like a trucker, don't I? I'll take it. I'll take it. Gleam in Action by Louis. I would love to make a Gleam in Action. I'd really like to make a book called Cute Code, like as a spin on clean code, and it would just be about programming in Gleam. But maybe we'd like swap like the galaxy for like underwater, like little starfish and seahorses and things. I think that'd be really fun. So if anyone wants to give me loads and loads of money so I can do that, please, you know where my email is. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. Message me in some way. What are we saying here? There's loads of new stuff in this release. So let's take a look at what's new. Yeah, how exciting. Oh, and I've accidentally uncopied these things. So it's a Nigerian prince. I'm going to help you out. I am any Nigerian prince or princesses or anything. People of any nationality, like hit me up. I don't care where your money came from. Just give it to me. No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't want to be sponsored by Shell, for example. That would be uncool. If you make a Udemy course, I'd buy. Yeah, that would be cool. There's a course on exorcism, and there is also. I'll show you the two courses we've got. So the first course is Gleam. This one, the official Gleam tour. And then it's like a series of lessons, teaches you all about like modules and do we really start with unqualified imports? I thought I changed that. I'm sure I changed that. Did I not merge that pull request? No. Ah. Okay, well I thought I did something different. K0 coded modules. Modules. Oh, okay, yeah, so modules and then, that's what I did. Modules, then unqualified imports. So it teaches all the different things. and you can like skip around it if you want to. Like this is almost everything that's in the language. It should be everything that's in the language, but I've realised I've forgotten a couple things, so I'm going to add those soon. So you can go through this. That's a really good way to start learning Gleam. The other one is exorcism, which is really zoomed in for some reason. There we go. They've got a really nice Gleam language track, which is actually one of the biggest and most fleshed out. I wonder if we can filter by... I just want to see ones that have concepts. No, okay. That's annoying. Anyway, the tracks that say learning mode, they have like actual courses that teach the language, and like some of them have been like C++ 16, Clojure is 12, not really enough to do everything. Well, the Gleam one has 36, which actually covers pretty much the whole language, which is cool. So if you go in here, you can like go through all these like different concepts, and it's like you can see it's like a tree. So you got to learn basics before you learn ints, and you got to learn ints before you learn anonymous functions, etc., 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 etc. And they will teach you a concept. Like here's how you do these things, and then oh, look, it's me. I'm the author. I didn't know it showed you that. And then it gives you a challenge. So like, hey, you should do this in order to solidify and prove that you know how to use the pipe operator or whatever thing you've just been taught. By the way, why did the link to the tour overview page get moved away from the navbar? Because it didn't fit on... first off, it was added without... It was snuck into a pull request, probably accidentally, rather than being reviewed. So like it just ended up there accidentally. And that's a mixture of like, we didn't communicate properly, and also then I missed that when I was reviewing it, so that was a mistake. So that wasn't ever signed off on, so it was only there for a few days, and it broke the mobile layout. So if you're on a mobile, the navbar rendered incorrectly. Although it wasn't... wait, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing, because actually it wasn't the contents, was it? It was a link to this page, which has everything in it. Which I think we should probably... I don't know, link somewhere. There's lots of things to do with like navigation to improve on the websites. We could really do with like a proper web design person, really. It's tricky though. Most people just want to keep adding things to here. It's like people already don't look at these, and it's just like there isn't really any space to add more things. It just gets busier and busier and busier until it's going to look exactly the same as this. Do these still work? Yeah, nice. Cool. So yeah, I think it needs I don't know. It needs some design to make sure it is comprehensible and also works on mobile as well. I tried Exorcism. It's really great. Hell yeah, it is awesome. I'd like to have more courses, but I don't. I've already made 2. Don't really want to make more. Takes a long time to make all that content. I think I would like to. I'd really like there to be books. I really, because we've got courses. People are starting to make video content. There's a Discord, so you can learn that way. We just don't have any actual books. That'd be rad. Now you're answering all my questions. Can you share the latest on OTP? What do you mean? You got specific questions? So what can we say? Propending performance improvements. Yeah, that might be worth talking about. Dead code elimination. Okay, that sounds cool. Okay. Okay, that's just a bug fix. So I want to go through all the list of changes and work out which ones are worth talking about in the blog post. So things like, oh, the thing that we already have now works. Like, that's not a good thing to talk about. That's just boring bug fix. No, most people won't have known that was a problem. URLs. Okay, that's just fixing some dead links. That's cool. Maybe that might be worth talking about. I'm not sure. I don't really know how to communicate type references, and they're fairly niche, so I think we won't include those. Maybe we will. Maybe like at the end. Bug. Oh, funny indentation here. Funny wrapping, rather. Boring bug. Burns ball. That's really interesting to people, I think. That should probably be. That's not. Burn. That should be under build tool. As should. No, that makes more sense. Okay. got those OTP questions? I'm fully ready to answer them. Erlang OTP library support like Elixir. We have Gleam OTP, but I wanted to know more detail. Yeah, so Elixir has Elixir's OTP, which is a wrapper of Erlang's OTP. Oh, someone's phoning me on my phone that I'm currently using to stream. On WhatsApp of all places. No, it's not. It's on Signal. No, do not phone me. Anyway, where were we? Let's save that actually. We got up to I've removed the bun thing, but I don't remember where it is. Okay, so pattern matching bug. We didn't care about that. I couldn't find documentation on message passing and receive. Maybe I should have dug deeper. Message passing and receive are implemented in the Gleam Erlang library because they are not part of OTP. They are part of Erlang. We don't have much documentation on actor stuff in general, really. That's something I would like to really flesh out, but again, I just don't have time. And yeah, it seems like the feedback from the community, and I agree with it, is that the thing that's much more important is improving the language server. Like everyone uses the language server. Not many people use the OTP libraries. And those people are the kind of people who don't need loads of additional documentation. Like they just make stuff. Error message is more clear. Okay, okie doke. Maybe that could be better. Don't know. Compile rebar packages. Nice. Not very exciting. Maybe it might be cool if this was just a really long post being like, hey, we did this, and it was like, oh wow, look how fast this Gleam thing is developing. Because if you look at a lot of other languages, it just seems like nothing much has happened. Oh, that shouldn't be in here. Because that never was released. Fixed a bug with a module name repend was yep. Remove change log item about fix for unreleased. People phoning without texting first should be banned. I agree. And it's like it's a person I've spoken to. I think they're asking me to do some work for them. Not paid work. I help out with some like non-profit organization stuff, and I think it's someone asking me to do something for them. and I've spoken to them like once. Text me, come on. Maybe they have texted me. Let me see. They have not texted me. They've posted in a different chat though. Let me just quickly send them a message. Good, done that. So yeah, so this is a fix to a change that was released. That was added after V1, so it isn't released yet. So it only hit people on nightly. We don't document fixes for things that haven't been released because they weren't broken from the point of view people using the stable releases. Okay, these are just inconsequential fixes. Improved error message for wrong patterns using improved error message for wrong patterns using constructors from other modules. I'm not sure what that means. No, I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna have to skip over that one. I mean, it's going to be a slightly better error message at best, right? So, oh gosh, fix a bug in the JavaScript target where the variables bound by patterns, if used before a bit array literal inside the case class, would be used before they're defined, causing a runtime error. Whoa, whoa. How fiddly. But again, it's a fix, so like it's not super easy to talk about fixes. Oh, well, no, it is, but like it's not like a show-off thing. Is that true? Yeah. This release is big enough, so I think we don't fit fixes in unless they're like super exciting. New warning. Fix a bug where a constant. Okay. This is somewhat understating how good it is. This is really nice, this example. Improve error message for array segment sizes, okay. Nice. Ooh, that's an annoying bug. And bug. Okay, cool. So those are all the compiler things that we might want to talk about. Formatters. Oh yeah. So often there's not really much to talk about, like in terms of like individual things that the formatter does. But sorting imports is cool. So let's have that one. I think it's just those two. Oh, I'm very coffee today. I think I'm like mildly intolerant to something, like maybe like some dairy thing. And I had a what did I have? I had like a chocolate chip cookie. Very indulgent. I feel like I shouldn't have those, but especially since they come in packs of 5, so I have just one, and then the rest of the day I'm like, oh, there's another one. I could have another one. Feels really very bad for me. But anyway, it makes me cough. So I'm sorry if I'll like clear my throat a lot. So sorry if I'm making horrible noises. Like that. It's just like, oh, unpleasant. I sound like I've taken up smoking. Build tool stuff. Warning for invalid names. Yeah, that could be interesting. Talking about constraint syntax. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, that's just upgrading versions. That's not very exciting. Fixing bug. Don't really care. Dependencies use Erlang only bit options can now compile in JavaScript. That is quite interesting. It's going to be hard to explain, but let's have a go. Yes. Is that worth talking about? That's kind of that. I mean, that's a good change. Because the documentation is supposed to tell you what you're supposed to know, and before it told you like things that you're explicitly not supposed to know. Like, that's private. Don't think I want to talk about it though. Fixed a bug resolution of. Yeah, that is cool. Fixed a bug where code blocks would have the wrong indentation. It's not very exciting, is it? It's kind of boring. I don't know. Like, how do you draw the line of like what things are worth talking about, and what things aren't worth talking about? It's quite tricky. Like, it used to be just like we talk about everything, but now look how many things are in this release. It's wild. Maybe I'll start at the bottom and work my way up. That's not interesting. Nice. So Gleam publisher now asks for confirmation. Okay. Can use environment variables. We won't publish placeholder packages, and we won't allow you to leak internal types. There's a speed bump on the road outside my house, and it's very aggressive. And every time a van or something goes over it, it's just really loud noise. I'm not sure you folks can hear it, but it surprises me every time. Get rid of those. We don't care about those. Oh, wait, what? Yes, get rid of those. Don't care about that. No, let's get rid of that. Yeah, maybe that. And then language server stuff. Okay, so I think we can get rid of get rid of that. I don't think you can communicate that nicely. That's just a bug fix. These are really cool though. So what are the most cool things? That. Bun. Bun's cool. Wait, I thought we moved that into. That's going to be in the build tool. That should also be in the build tool. I mean, that's probably the most interesting thing that's in here, but that's not very exciting. Yeah, I guess that's the thing about language being V1. There's going to be lots of like, it's going to get much less interesting. It's going to be much less interesting in terms of like actual language changes. It's all going to be tooling and libraries and what have you. I mean, that is a nice change, but like the fact you couldn't do that before feels really silly. Like the fact you couldn't do like tuple.0.1. Like, so it's not, it's hard to boast about it because the behavior before was rubbish. Mm-hmm. Has that person replied? Cool. So what do I do? Compiler, nothing exciting to say really. Woohoo, very exciting. And the format, no, build tool. This isn't build tool. This is That's the quote. Oh, this is in under compiler here. Have I messed up somehow? How did that end up in the build tool section? Oh, something's gone horribly wrong. Because that's a compiler feature. Have I messed up already? Hmm. Oh my gosh! Hello, everybody. Thanks for raiding. Wow, gosh, that's so many people. This is very exciting. You've switched from some very impressive, competent Gleam programming, making something very exciting, to the person who made Gleam, me, sort of looking at a changelog, going, which one of these things should we be writing about? You've joined my least interesting stream, but great to have you. Oh my gosh, amazing. 66 people. You need another 600. Get that number up. Oh dear. So what am I doing? It is time for more or less Gleam 1.1 because it's been about a month since version 1. So every time I put out a new release, let's go to the top. Look at the website. It's so cute. Oh. We write one of these really lovely release posts that explain like, hey, Gleam is a language, it's cool, and then we just go for all the highlights of the release. So you go, hey, here's why you should be excited by it, and also not just like here's the changes, but also like here's the context, here's where we were before, here's why we're doing those things, and so on. So that should it's been really good actually. People seem to have taken really nicely to it. I think it's part of why Gleam has spread around, just because we do these frequent releases and then we try and communicate really clearly around them of like what the value is. The starfish alone makes me want to Gleam. Hell yeah! Like the colors and the branding and Lucy are just like maybe the best things in the whole Gleam world. Come for the code, stay for the pink nonsense. Look how cute she is. Oh my gosh. And now this one down here moves as well. Look at that. Good stuff. Okay, so I should probably just crack on trying to write this post then, eh? So these are like kind of all extra things. I've already got the format of things in here. Hey, welcome. Welcome. This is the most people I've ever had, I think. How exciting. I just feel like I've like somehow deleted half the changelog because some of these things are in the wrong place, but I really don't want to start writing this again. So we definitely want the bun thing. That's really cool. In fact, that's probably like the first thing we want to boast about. People like bun. And that's nice because it's confusing as hell to everybody. That's probably hard to explain, and I don't actually know if it has fixed the problem. So we kept having problems with making HTTP requests to Hex on Windows, and I wasn't really sure what was going on, and I changed the way we do TLS verification. I just like swapped out one backend for another, and it seems like it might have worked, but I'm not entirely sure. It would suck if I spent a whole release post boasting about it, and then it didn't work. What part of UK are you from? Brackets, if you don't mind sharing. I'm a Londoner. I was born in Hillingdon. That's quite far west London. And I was raised in West Drayton until the age of 7 or 8, I think. And then we moved to Slough. Lovely town, Slough, which is halfway between London and Reading, I guess, or maybe Oxford, I don't know. Reading, let's say Reading. And then when I was 21 or something, I moved back to London. And I've been there ever since. And I've only just recently realised that I'm a Londoner. I was born in London. I just like forgot. I think that shows I'm a bit dim because I knew I lived in West Drayton when I was young, and then. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm from Slough, and I've just moved to London. It's like, no, you're born here, mate. I'm an Egypt, and now I've just got this weird generic South accent, and it doesn't really sound like anywhere. I visited London and Oxford last year when I went to the UK. Oh, for the F1 race in Silverstone, amazing. That's really cool. Where did you visit in London? Because like London is like a great sea of villages. London is many places all squished up next to each other. Slough, the legendary town of the Office UK. Yes, that is true. That's like one of the two things we were proud of. We were proud of the Office, which was set in a building called the Crossbow, and that was on the walk that I used to do to secondary school. I had to go past the Crossbow. They knocked that building down. We were very upset about that. And the other thing we were proud of is that we have had a chocolate factory. There's a chocolate factory on one side of town, and there was a sewage treatment works on the other side of town. So if the wind blows this way, it's like, oh, lovely. And if the wind blows that way, it's horrible. And then they knocked down the chocolate factory. They just keep knocking down all the things we liked in that town. It was very sad. I stayed in Battersea, but we explored over. Battersea's really nice. There's some really great pubs there. I really love Battersea Power Station. It's a beautiful building. Battersea Power Station. And for like all when I was growing up, it was still just like it was just this rotting, derelict building. Look how beautiful that is. And then a few years ago, they finally found some money and turned it into flats or a shopping centre or something. But in my mind, it's still just like this giant, decaying industrial building in the middle of London. Yes, really beautiful. I've not been there since they've reopened it. I think you can see power station control room. I think you can still go in and see the control room, and it has all the yeah. You can still go and see like all the machinery they used to have to manage this like how old is this, like I don't know. I wanted to say Victorian, but I don't know if that's true. You can go visit all this stuff. Public transport in London is amazing. My American mind can't comprehend. It is pretty great. London has the best public transport in the UK by a long way. It's getting worse because the government keeps squeezing money out of it, which is so silly. That it's not profitable. It's losing money. It's like it's not meant to be profitable. Like all the people who work in bank and every London makes all of the money for the country. Like all of the UK's money comes from London, and people can get to work in London by getting on the train or getting the tube or getting the bus. It's not meant to make a profit. If you got rid of the public transport, people couldn't do their jobs properly. So silly. Anyway, I'm very much bus and tube pilled. So I will rant passionately about how amazing London transport is. First ever underground railway network, London, and still mostly works. And they tax the businesses. Yeah, exactly. So it makes perfect sense to. It should just be free, as far as I'm concerned. I grew up in York, which is next to Lancaster and Reading. That is so weird. Those places are nowhere near each other. So growing up in Slough, I always used to, when I was a teenager of drinking age, I would hop the train to Reading and I'd party in Reading because it was the nearest town that had a good music scene. It had an amazing music scene when I was young. PA represent, personal assistant represent. PA what is that? Pennsylvania? Is that, am I guessing correctly? Nice, I got it right. Completions for language server look really nice. Really strange VS Code now with only result completed imports. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Didn't work very well before. Lancaster, UK. Oh, good part of the world. Be at the country where people smile if you smile. They smile back if you smile at them. It's good up there. I said I was doing some writing, and then I've just like stopped to talk about local geography and the places in the states that and state. Have you had any Canada? No, yes, just the states, I think. Maybe. Do you think there's a new Slough? There's a New York. Hmm. Mansfield. Oh my gosh! None of your place names are original. They're all just. This is so strange because I've got all these like pre-existing ideas about like what Lancashire and Mansfield and stuff is, and you're just talking about some other completely unrelated place with the same name. If we rank programming languages based on what really matters, the mascot, Gleam would be number one for sure. Hell yeah. Although there are some other good ones. So like the obvious one is Golang. Pretty great. Look how cute they are. Uh. The other one is look at this. Wow, what a mascot. Is that not just the best mascot you've ever seen? I love him so much. He's such a happy little guy. What other good ones are there? I feel like there was a few other good ones. My favorite logo I've ever made. This better be okay for me to show on stream. Ooh. That is really sick. That's so good. Oh, you've peaked. Like, how do you live knowing that you've created your best work? Like, it's all downhill from here. How could you possibly top that? It's even better with my my GitHub Dart mode on. Is that there is a light mode, isn't there? Yeah, so good with the white background. Oh. Are you free for consulting? I could do some help with the Gleam website. I think you've got what it takes. Very good. Very, very, very good. I'm actually. I said I was gonna. This was a terrible idea. I think I'm slowly learning that like actual writing on the stream doesn't work. Pikelet's the best. I don't know what you're saying. It's awesome. What could we do? Maybe we're trying to make a GIF. Maybe that's the way to do it. We knew my thing up. So let's add some stuff like Larster and simplify. Yeah, why not? Those seem sensible to me. So if we wanted to show imports working, how would we do that? Would we do something like, so imports Luster. No, oh, and I even spelt it wrong, and it's still corrected. Nice. List. Nice. So, what is that tool that I used to use? Bubble D. It's from these folks. I wonder if we can make a GIF that shows imports working. Why did I go to here? I'm going to go to VHS. That's what I wanted. So I don't think I care about. Oops. Oh, I don't know what I just pressed there. I don't think I care about those. I don't want to do that. I want to type. Oh, am I going to be able to show this to you on stream? This is going to be a bit hard, isn't it? So Okay, so how do I turn this into a thing? VHS and just the name. Okay. Oh, that seems faster than I wanted it to be. Come on, computer, you can do it. Oh, wow, it looks really quite horrendous. What's going on? Why is it green? Do I need to like force disable the colors? Why does it start on line 3? Okay. Hmm. Who knows how VHS works? Can I either make it support the colors or hmm. I mean, I guess the best thing would be for ah. Hmm. Not get. Yeah, maybe I'm not gonna succeed here. I would really like to show the language server working. I get. Oh, okay. So I guess another way I could do this is that I just record it with like the max screen capture thing. Oh, you know what I should do? Haley's got some really nice screen recording software. Maybe I could get her to record it. Yeah, that's probably the way to do it, eh? Okay. Okay. Let's do that instead. That's a shame. I thought that could be quite fun. This is the wrong repo. So bun support. And the next thing is clear dependency requirements. Autocomplete imports. Improve, what should I call it? Global, go to definition. Import sorting for matter improvements. I think Julian did some really nice benchmarking, so I could probably just like grab the benchmarking from his issue and put it in here. People like numbers, right? Is it worth talking about this? I don't know. It's not very exciting, is it? That's not very exciting either. Yes. Those are nice. How would I title this? So like it's a bunch of changes to ensure that packages are like good before they're published. Is that true? This isn't though. That's an unrelated thing. I hope the language server has improved. Yeah, it has. We've got better go to definition and we've got imports. Oh, and wait a minute. Where's the I also improved the performance. Language server. Did I not document the change I made? That seems strange. Okay. The change I made was messages from the client are now batched to to avoid doing excess. So that's how you put excess compilation work in the language server, improving performance. This makes a noted. This makes a in low power machines where the language server could struggle to keep up with the batched. Yep, that's oh no, not that, not what I wrote there. That's just wrong. So I do want that. Let's. I'm confused as to how the changelog's got a bit scruffy. I think I broke something somewhere. How do I title like better for slow machines language server? Hey, totally monk, welcome. Batchards. Batchards. Optimized for potatoes. Potato friendly. That's a bit mean. Language server. It's cute though, isn't it? Oh dear. Ship it. Ship irritor. Yeah, it's cool. It's amazing seeing just how much stuff is. It's amazing seeing just how much stuff is on here, especially given since version 1, I've not had as much time for working on the compiler as I traditionally have, just because there's like so much activity, there's so much people talking, there's so many people to help with their projects and things, and so many issues to respond to and pull requests to review and merge. But But the flip side of that is just that like loads of people are contributing. It is so nice. Like one of the things I'm always worried about with open source projects, and one thing I focus on quite a lot is like, how do we get more people to be able to contribute and feel comfortable contributing, and actually just to be able to contribute to the, to whatever the project is. Because like Gleam's pretty cool. Like Gleam is designed to be easy to maintain, both from terms of like your code in Gleam should be easy to maintain, but also like the Gleam compiler should be relatively easy to maintain. But if nobody wants to maintain it, that doesn't make any difference. Like who cares? And like I will, the point of Gleam is for people to use it for serious things. We want in a few years' time, I want it to be normal for people to go, what are you using? Oh, I'm using Gleam. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty new, but it's, that's a sensible choice. And I want it, in 10 years' time, I want people to be bored of the idea, like, oh, Gleam, that's just a normal thing. I really like that language, but yeah, there's nothing weird about using Gleam. And we just can't get there if you don't have like a good solid foundation. And languages that come from Microsoft or Google seem to have that for free, even though like those companies have abandoned lots of things before. So it needs to be a proper community project. This needs to be a Debian, a FOSDEM, something where there is lots of people willing and actively contributing. Because otherwise it's just me, and when I run away and join the circus, what are you gonna do? And we seem to have really moved past that point, which is lovely. Gosh, I'm doing this so slowly. I think writing and streaming definitely doesn't work together. I may use Gleam for some data migrations. That's awesome. That's really cool. Would you use the Erlang backend or the JavaScript one? Because you folks use a lot of JavaScript, right? Hey, welcome over in YouTube. Erlang for sure. Okay, cool. Nice. I've titled this one just what does that mean? Better package validation. Nice. Is there anything else in the rest of them that looks super exciting? Like maybe this is just a bunch of and here's the rest type things. Maybe I could pull out the ones that are just error message related. Those could all be like one subject. I would like to write some Next.js bindings on the JS side and see how that feels. Honestly, I'm not sure what Next.js is. It's React. It's something to do with React, I think. I'm pretty out of touch with the React ecosystem. When React was brand new, there were two companies in London who did React. They were like the React companies, and they together ran React London, and they had a sort of soft agreement that they both agreed they wouldn't try and headhunt each other's employees. And one of them was Facebook, and the other one was Red Badger. And I was working at Red Badger at the time, so I used to be with it, but I don't know what all the new things are. This is back when it was all like class components and set state, and there was gosh, what was it even called? What was the thing that came before Redux? Flux. God, that thing was awful. That thing was so confusing. And then Redux came along and everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. And then that's about as far as my my React knowledge got. I hear they've got server components now. I think they're just copying Lustre. That must be what they're doing. A meta framework for React. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds like it would probably be quite integrated into like the nuances of the language and the React library. which means it sounds like it might be hard to apply to other languages, like Gleam, for example. I don't know. I'm chatting at my bum. I've no idea. Could be cool though. Just tell them to deprecate that whole React thing and just go all in on Lustre. Like that's clearly the future. I used to think that languages had to come out of serious people in serious companies doing serious work, but lately I've encountered so many new languages that are more one person's vision and seemingly done as a personal project as much as anything. Gleam, Zig, Odin, Elm, for example. I've completely changed what I think about where a language has come from to be taken seriously. Okay, yes, I think so. And I think there's also lots of examples of that in the past as well. Like Python and Ruby are both... okay, I wasn't there, so I might be slightly reaching here, but I get the impression Python and Ruby are both very much in the beginning like one-person things, and then they like slowly backed off over time. And that's sort of the trajectory I'm envisioning for Gleam, providing I feel like I can trust. I don't want it to be like given to like the Gleam stewards and then go, okay, now it's time to merge all the extra features, and like, no, don't do that. It's got to stay small. So we need to like make sure that culture's embedded so it stays small forever. Yeah, I think they're similar. Are there any other languages that are like that? There's probably loads. I'm just not very familiar with the history of lots of languages. But anyway, I'm the dictator for life, so. You think it's true of Ruby? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it's not just me making that up then. Oh yeah, PHP. PHP was like that as well, wasn't it? Ah. Mats is nice, so we are nice. I know all the Rubyisms. I've even got a really lovely book somewhere. Do you folks know this one? Oh wow, it's green, so it's all see-through. I got a printed version of the Wise Amazing Introduction to Ruby. Like, I think more programming books should look like this. Like, how... Oh, gosh, it's really hard to point things in front of a camera. How awesome is that, eh? Just a whole comic that is explaining how to use a language. Look at... Wait, let's try and do this better. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. I worked Ruby job for 6 years. I did a lot of Closure, another good example. Yeah, so like it's not a new thing. I think we've been a bit distracted lately by languages that come from big companies. Yeah, I've done a lot of Ruby professionally. I've got to the point I've done so much of it that I'm just a bit frustrated by it. You know, when you know something so well, you can see all the problems. I just don't really enjoy it anymore. But there's loads of really great stuff in the Ruby world. Like, look how silly this is. Oh gosh, how do you do this? I'm never going to learn. There we go. Isn't that lovely? I want to have. I'm not an artist, so I can't do this, and I'm nowhere near this creative. But I would love to have like a really fun Gleam book like that. Maybe like a Gleam programming zine. That'd be great. The other amazing Ruby book is what's his name? Michael Hartle's Rails tutorial. Oops. Gosh, there's so much dust on my bookshelf. This thing is an amazing book. It says that second edition. That's very old. It says that it's like teaching Rails, but actually it just teaches web development, like from nothing. That's why it's so big. With Rails. That's so cool. You can give like a newbie programmer this, and if they finish it, then they can just have a job. Like, it's just that good. It does everything. So I'd love to rip this off. Like, make the Wisp book, which is like, hey, you want to be a web programmer? Read this. Okay, now you can make things. Off you go, get a job. Well, you can get a job in Gleam. There's not many of those, so so you'll be a bit stuck. I mean, in before the story of Gleam is that you told someone Ruby was annoying you, and they said, "Why don't you make your own language then?" I mean, there's an element of that. No one ever told me that, but the reason I made a language, a large part of it is just that I was frustrated with all of the other languages I knew. They were all great, but they all had things that were lacking. So I wanted, this perfect language. I could see all the bits that I wanted from all these other languages that I knew, but I just needed to pull them all together. And I was like, oh, I keep trying more languages, then I find the one that fits, and it never got there. So I've got to make it instead. Is Chris Jenkins as lovely a person as they seem? No, not at all. He's actually much nicer. Chris Jenkins is like one of the best guys in the London scene, in my opinion, on the functional London scene. I mean, that's the only scene I can speak for. He's such a dude. And I used to really enjoy that, because I used to go to all the meetups. Like with the pandemic, all the places where meetups regularly happen, tech meetups have kind of died, which is a real shame. I used to joke that if you're happy having pizza and beer for dinner, you wouldn't ever have to buy dinner in London, because you would just go to a different meetup every day. That doesn't exist anymore, as far as I can tell. But I would always end up bumping into Chris once a week. Like, oh, we've both gone to the Haskell meetup, we've both gone to the Elm meetup, we've both gone to that sort of stuff. Like, he's just a really nice guy. And he's one of those guys where, like, I feel like you feel like he's paying attention. You feel like he's really paying attention when you talk to him. Like, he's a very considerate dude. Two thumbs up from me. And that remote data library he made is everywhere as well. I used to hate the pizza and beer, but now I'm so holed up that I miss the pizza and beer meetups. We had a really lovely pizza and beer meetup for Gleam, like the little V1 celebration. I didn't pay for the pizza or the beer. We just like rented a room below a nice pizza bar and just hung out. It was really good. Chris came to that as well, actually. I was the first episode of Chris's new podcast. So we spoke about doing another one at the Gleam meetup. So yeah, maybe there'll be another edition that features Gleam soon. That would be lovely. He's a great guy. If you have one in the UK in August, maybe I'll pop in. Oh yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, I'm trying to remember if I kind of feel like somebody was in town, and that's part of why we did it that time. I think Peter came. Peter normally lives in Sweden. Jack couldn't come. Jack lives in Italy. So yeah, it was. Oh, and somebody came from. Gosh, it's really. I feel very rude. I've forgotten the guy's name, but he came from the Netherlands, I think. But it's just wild that people were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the pub in Paddington in London." Not the Bear, the place the Bear's named after. We're just gonna hang out in Paddington and have some pizza, and then just like people come from different countries. He was joking that his wife's like, "You sure you're not having an affair?" It's like, "Yeah, you're gonna go to a program meetup." Yeah. Are you okay? You're going to London just for that, really? Brighton is practically London. Brighton's really nice. I lived in Brighton for a couple of years. It's very easy to get from Brighton to London. You just get the train. It's very comfortable. But then you got to travel. There, where does the train come into? It probably comes into Victoria, I'm guessing, and then you could get on the Victoria line, and then just come up into North London. I don't go south of the river. No. I'm a North Londoner. I don't have a passport. I can't go south of the river. I mean, I do. I've got two passports, but All the cool people have been moved and priced out. Yeah, that's true of everywhere. Brighton, London, you name it. All the good music these days is like in Sheffield and places because like artists can't really afford to live down south anymore. But Brighton's just a nice place. Like geographically, it's nice. It's quite friendly. I mean, it was always really expensive. Brighton in some ways is more expensive, sort of more expensive than London because it's like approaching London housing prices, but it doesn't have London wages. The beach is rubbish. What are you on about? The beach is great. I love the beach. That was the best thing about living in Brighton. None of that sand nonsense. Ugh. I much prefer a rocky beach. Do you think I should try and actually like do literally any of the work I said I was going to do? I think, how long have I been doing this? I've been doing this for an hour and a half, and I think I've done about 15 minutes of work. This was a terrible idea. I've had a good time though, so who cares? And Jack wanted me to delay this, so Jack, you've got your wish. Why would I not? If the kind of point is to try. Hey newbie. Oh, it's my cat's birthday. Newbie, come here. Everybody say happy birthday to newbie. I have no idea how old he is. How old are you, newbie? I can't remember. Have you been sweating? Oh, it's gross. He's just licked himself, I think. Ugh, I put my hands on it. Whoa! It's your dog's birthday. It's a good day for pets' birthdays. Bash Bunny said the same thing on Backend Banter today. That's a great show name. Streaming while working makes things take 4 times longer. Yeah, that's true of coding. I'm trying to write text and it's going even worse. I'm going to try and write something. Um, I want to say every day. I don't know if that's true. I think it might be close to like new packages every day. Should we find out? That's new today. That's not. That's new the day after, the day before. That's new the day before. That's new the day before. Oh. What is this? Okay. That's the day before. Okay, so like it literally is every day. There's a new package at the moment. Okay, cool. So I can say every day. Wow, I thought, oh, maybe there won't be one every day, but it's like there are several every day. That is really cool. Oh, what happened there? Oh, that's because I clicked on the little padlock. Look at that. Oh, look at that growth. Oh, oh, amazing. Take that, world. I'm quite curious as like how many packages other programming languages have. Like how many? I'd really like to know like how many does PureScript have? How many does Rescript have? How many does Elm have? Actually, Elm you could find out. I'd just like to see like how how big are these comparative ecosystems. Ooh, that's a bit. How do I? Can I bring up a thing? Okay, so I want to search for. 1,849. I mean, we're at apparently 343. So like, Elm's been around a lot longer than Gleam. We're catching up. That's pretty cool. That's really very cool. Oh, hello. Hey, you said hello on YouTube chat, and I haven't looked over here in a little while. If you said that a while ago, I'm sorry. Good to have you. So yeah, I love all these little vanity metrics. I know they're nonsense, but they make me feel good. So I'm super curious. Just like, are we? So we're like, yeah, we're not an Elm yet, but like, are we a rescript? Is that like a pure script package index? Pure script packages. Elm is difficult to make packages for because they have to be pure Elm, no wrapping JavaScript. I guess so. I mean, a lot of these packages are pure. Okay, so that's binding to something. That's pure. That's yeah. That's I don't know. Does a library that uses a library that isn't pure? Pure's the wrong word. So like Birdie uses simplify, and simplify uses the platform's platform's file system access. Does that count as pure Gleam? Because I think it's all written in Gleam. That's binding to something. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of them, the majority of them are not. The vast majority of them are not bindings to existing libraries. Hey, newbie. You should have a core team picks section to your release notes to share what you're all excited about and why. Well, that's kind of what the point is of the blog post, right? You know, it's not everything that's in the changelog. It's just like, here's the things that I think are going to be the most exciting to people. Where was I typing? Where did it go? I said I was going to write a section, then I wrote like 1.5 sentences and stopped. New one's being published every day with is there another use of compiling to JavaScript besides using it in a Gleam web framework? Yeah, loads of uses for JavaScript. Like it's much more portable than Erlang. Like you can much more reliably have a JavaScript runtime on a computer. So you could give people a bundled JavaScript file and say, here you go, you can run this, and it runs with Node. You can't do that with Erlang. Even if you say Erlang's installed, I guess you could use an eScript, but that's less portable because it only supports certain versions. It only supports like a few major versions of the virtual machine, so after a while your program will stop working, which I guess is true of JavaScript too, but like because it's source code, it will last longer than bytecode will. You could run your code on a CDN or in some serverless function context. You could run it on a phone. You could run it in like a video game engine. I think you can even run it inside Excel now. Like there's loads of places that JavaScript can get to that you can't get to with Erlang. That's cool to me. I find that really cool. We don't just want a large number of packages. We also want to ensure that packages are as high quality as possible. things that we. Oh. um. I can't remember if you. Are you encouraged to write it, or do you have to write it? You have to write it. Oh, hey, newbie. Includes the location of the source code repository for the package. You're right. Oh, he's hinting, not very subtly, that he wants feeding. So I'll finish this sentence, then I'll run away for 2 minutes to give the birthday boy some stuff. They should make little cake cats. No, the other way around. They should make little cat cakes. They probably do, but I don't have one. To ensure it. Fully nice. Cool. Back in, I don't know, like a minute. I tell you what, Newbie doesn't seem very interested in the concept of a birthday. But then again, his language skills are very poor. God, don't be mean to the cat, Louie. It's his birthday. Come on. What are you doing? Gleam has... Maybe if you give him a little party hat. Oh, I think he would hate that. I think he would really hate that. Just give me grumpy eyes. I think I might have tried that at some point. I think it probably went quite badly. Has internal modules, which are modules that are only to be used by the they are defined in module. Are you planning on adding carrying? No, we are not planning to add carrying. Or well, we're not planning to add auto carrying. You can carry yourself if you want to, and there's often times when you would like to, but it is no auto carrying. If you if a package accidentally every week I look at Gleam again and compile it to test the language server to check for improvements. It's a really great language, congratulations. The only part for me to work with it on a daily basis is improve developer experience. It took me one afternoon to learn the language. Simple and beautiful. Thank you. I agree. The language server is the big high value thing. It's all coming together very quickly now, which I'm very excited by. The next big thing that I personally would like to dig into is going to be fault tolerant static analysis. And I think having that will be one of the biggest like developer experience improvements that we're going to have inside the language server. So that's going to be exciting. I don't know. I'm not entirely. It's a bit annoying because the compiler's not designed for that from the start. So how can we retrofit it in a way that is like incrementally improving? So I've got a bunch of ideas, and we'll have to see how much of a difference it makes each time. But yeah, I'm hopeful it's going to be pretty. I'm hopeful we can do a relatively small change. Relatively, it's going to be big, but I'm optimistic that we're going to be able to get a bunch of value from the smallest possible large change. Hey newbie, a change that is large, but on a yeah, we can definitely do this and ship this and be happy with it. The things that are really scary are the changes are like, this is a big project. Wow, this is going to be so long. You're like, are you ever going to get to the end of that? Like, how long is it going to take you to deliver that and start going, was this right? It really sucks doing a big rewrite and then you get to the end of it and you're like, oh wow, that was wrong. Like, I want to start getting feedback and validate things as quickly as possible. Newbie, what are you doing with the door? Come and say hello to everybody. Come on. I need a cat cam. I need a camera at like a different level so you can see the little boy. Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean you can bully me. I mean, it does. You always bully me. I've just fed you loads of food. Do you want more? It is his birthday. What are you after, honey? He's run away. I'm going to find out where he's going. Cat cam. He just wants entertaining. It's only just been me in the house for a while, and so there's much fewer people coming to entertaining than there often is. Poor little guy. It's a cat. Cats should bully their owners. I agree. It's their solemn duty. I'd like to have a camera for the cat, but I live in a small London flat, and the reason I have the green screen is because I don't want you to see my bedroom. I'm standing at a desk in the same room as my bed. It's just a bit, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm in my 30s. I feel like I should be past this, but city living, eh? Hey, little boy. I'm in Manhattan and my bedroom is my office. Yeah. It's the price you pay, eh? If you want to live in these cities where there's like all this cool stuff, you just don't get much space. I mean, I could if I lived alone. If I'd like, what do you want? Hey, Treble. Come on. It's very hard to entertain a cat while you're on stream. Yeah, London's very expensive. London's very expensive. The wages are okay. I guess the redeeming thing of like London versus like some of the American tech cities is that like you don't have to spend a million hours driving everywhere. Oh, he sneezed. Poor boy. Poor boy. Yeah, like, you know, I joke that I've always joked that London, everything is an hour away. Like, if you want to go from here to here, that's an hour. But if you want to go to here to here, that's an hour. And if you want to go from here to here, that's also an hour. Like, it doesn't matter where you're going; it's an hour. So you don't end up. But it's just like an hour on the tube. It's not going to be. It's not going to be sitting in traffic on highways for hours. At least you can read. Or like you can even get your laptop out and do some work or whatever. Well, not at rush hour, you can't. Stuff doing anything at rush hour, that's awful. Okay, oh good. Oh, I've written multiple paragraphs. Also the case in Berlin, yeah, I believe that. I was very impressed with the Berlin. I quite liked the Berlin transport system when I visited there. It was nice. A train from where I am into London is also an hour. Yeah, exactly. Like most of the country, 1 hour from London. Yeah, but then you do another hour to cross London. That's the problem. It's the interconnections in London that take an hour. Also, London. If you look at the transport system in London, it's like the middle of London, and then everything just like goes off like that. It's like very much a hub and spoke. So if you ever want to go from here to here, you generally do that. Which is annoying. They've just started to introduce like a super what do they call it? They call it like the super loop, which is just like a bus with not many stops that just goes around the outside, which is really cute. Hmm. I mean, we do have circles, but like they're all. It's all like if you want to go to the outs. So like Greater London's pretty big, right? Like I think Greater London's quite a lot bigger than Berlin. I might be making that up. Is it like a Greater Berlin? No. So Berlin's like 3.6 million people. Oh wow, okay. They're not super different. How big are they though? Doesn't say how. Doesn't say the size. Oh, I'm in the way. Good. Um, density is. Well, I don't know. What's a metro density? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Metro? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is like comparing. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's like Greater London is the metro because it'd be like the Greater London metropolitan area. Okay. Does this have metro density? This just says density. That's rubbish. Metro. Everything's called metropolitan in London, so this isn't helpful. Okay, let's just compare the metro. Oh, okay, so this would only be the metropolitan area because it's Greater London, as opposed to the City of London, which is like a mile. It's tiny. Density 5,600 or so per kilometer. Okay, yeah, so it's like I don't know, I don't understand. I've lost track of what I'm trying to say. I love comparing cities though. It's very interesting. What's your size? Area. Okay, metro 12,000 square miles. And this one is where's the size? Come on. Here we go. Oh wow, it's much smaller. Huh, that's interesting, isn't it? Wow, the Berlin metro area is massive then. Am I misunderstanding that? Do 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 do. No, it's just huge. Cool. Wow. That's really cool. Berlin metro map. London Wiki Entry has a metro density on it. Okay. I mean, I haven't been to much of Berlin, to be fair. Like, it's very hard to understand how big a city is as a tourist. Look at that. I mean, it looks like exactly the same as the London one. Like, it's got a ring around the outside, and then it has a bunch of hub and spoke. Like, that's exactly the same system we've got. See, like, ring, hub and spoke. Ring. Oh, wrong thing. Oh no, what's going on? What is this? How do I? What? Yeah, it's just the same thing. Oh, I forgot I made that horrible thing. Get rid of that. Hello, welcome. Oh, he's complaining. Okay, I'm gonna placate him with some food, and then I'm gonna do a little bit more work, and then I'm gonna leave so I can have lunch and also play with my cat because it's his birthday. Oh my gosh, it's my cat's birthday! How exciting! Haha, I'm back. It's a lovely day today. What a good day to be inside streaming and not outside. You still have trolleys. Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish. So trolleys, as in like a trolley bus, right? Which is like a. It's like a, it's like an electrified on rails bus type thing. One of these, like that. Oh, sorry, like that. One of these fellas. They're great. We used to have those in London, then we got rid of all of them. And we used to have trams. So a trolley bus is not a tram because it's not on rails, right? Isn't that the difference? London used to have trams. They got rid of all of them. It sucks. Trams. Tram. Oh, so they're trams, but you call them trolleys. They're not trolley buses. Okay. I think trolley buses are really cute. It's like, why doesn't it have rails? Why wouldn't you give this rails? Because like you built the infrastructure to have all the power lines. So like surely you were doing the construction work anyway. Trams are the best. I love trams. I want London trams to return. They're so cool. Look at that. Look at that glorious thing there. And just like smash all of the. We'll put a big cow tipper on the front and you just like smash its way through the cars. Why did it get rid of them? I don't know. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago. London tram removal. Yeah, look how old the pictures are. Like, oh yeah, Croydon is the only place in London that still has trams, and there was like, yeah, no one ever thinks about it. So the remaining trams removed after the war. Okay, why were they removed? They were seen as noisy and dangerous. And they were replaced with trolley buses, and that got replaced with motor buses. I don't know. I guess it was just popularity. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So it just sounds like they weren't popular. Yeah, people just like, oh, it's blocking all the cars, and then like everyone loved cars, so they just got rid of them. Oh, okay. So like people didn't like them because they like caused traffic. Okay, whatever, and the tracks weren't being maintained, so they were loud. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you replace them with trolley buses, which don't have the tracks. These rubber tires, which are awful for you because they cause loads of particulates, like cars do. But they didn't make a noise, so people didn't care. And then they got rid of the trolley buses and replaced them with petrol, which is like even worse because they're loud and yeah, gives everyone asthma and all this kind of horrible stuff. Yeah, good times. Bring trolley buses back. Trolley buses are cool. The whole thing of like buses can be more flexible because they can go for the tracks and stuff. That's legit. But I would like to see, I think the trams should just have right of way. It shouldn't be possible for a tram to get blocked in traffic. So we should, like London, like you could happily take half the roads away from cars and it would function just fine. It'd function way better. So we'll just like take them away from cars, use them for less awful means of transportation. Like it just sucks how often you see people driving massive cars through London, one person in it. It's like, just don't do that. You're in one of the best cities in the world for public transport, and you're driving an SUV through it. Why are you doing that? It's a horrible experience. I hate driving through London. I don't do it unless I really can't avoid it. Like if I'm driving through London, it's normally because I'm driving a van because I have to move a bunch of stuff from one place to another. Like someone's moving house, and I've volunteered to do the driving. Do you remember when they had bendy buses in London and then banned them for being dangerous? Yeah, they kept killing cyclists. Weirdly, they've all gone to the Isle of Man now. We sold them all, London sold them all to the Isle of Man, and the Isle of Man looks like it's tiny. So, London. There's London. It's pretty big. There's the Isle of Man. It's considerably smaller. So, the capital city of the UK, you can see it. It's pretty big. Capital city, the Isle of Man. Here it is, Douglas. Look at these, like... Wait, is this an advert? This is an advert on a map. Oh my gosh. Google, I hate you so much. This is the whole capital city, Isle of Man. It's so adorable. It's tiny. But yeah, we've sold all they got all the bendy buses now. I think they have like a railway line that's open, or a tram that's open like 1 day a week or something. Very sweet. Lovely place. I really recommend visiting. It's really nice. Yeah. It's the only place in the UK where street racing is legal and there are no speed limits. And everyone's got like 1,000 motorbikes. So if you like bikes, oh my gosh, you need to go to the Isle of Man. It used to be the World Championship was street racing around the Isle of Man, and they still do the TT, which is like exactly the same track. So if you want to go ride motorbike extremely fast, it's the place to be. Yay, I've done one section now. Look at that, I've done so much work. No speed limit, no speed limit at all in the Isle of Man. You can get done for furious driving though. Like what a name. My other piece of Isle of Man trivia, which used to be very cool but doesn't work anymore, is the Isle of Man is part of the UK but not part of the EU. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything anymore. It's nothing like the German autobahn though, because what am I doing? Maps. Because the autobahn is like a really big, nice, fancy motorway, and she wouldn't zoom so close on my house. Oh no, I'm somewhere in West London. Probably should know. I probably should open it off screen. I mean, it's that, like, that's the loop. The roads in the Isle of Man look like... What on earth? I'm in a cave. What have you done here? That's not what I was aiming for, mate. Let's try that again, shall we? How do I get out of here? Yeah, they look like this. I mean, that's not a bad one as it goes. How do I close this thing here? There we go. That's not bad. Welcome to Main Road. It's literally just called Main Road. But there you go. No speed limits. Go as fast as you want. Go back to the cave, please. There's also like there's the oldest biggest something. How about this? It's also like, look at this, look how steep the thing is, because it's all like, it's just a mountain in the middle of the sea, basically. Laxey wheel. Yeah, it's like the oldest, water wheel or something. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Really cool. And you can go stand up at the top of it and stuff. Laxey wheel. It's the oldest surviving original water wheel in the world. And it revolves 3 times per minute. When was it made? Made in 1854 to pump water from a mine. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Super pretty stuff. Why can't more tech look like this, eh? Can I get to the other side of it? Oh, I'm in a mine! There you go. So if you want to... There's a lot of mining in the Isle of Man. Mining and kippers, the fish. There's loads of really nice... Laxey, look at it, it's gorgeous. Like, go visit the Isle of Man. It's a really nice place. Oh, look, we're on top of it. That's really cool. The poor soul that needed to go into the mine to the pictures. I mean, that's not a bad job. See, motorbikes. See, as I told you, everyone's got motorbikes. The Isle of Man is like 100% about motorbikes. Like, I bet you can drop this anywhere and there will be motorbikes. Like, let's go here. Okay, if there's people, there will be motorbikes. There's no people here. GeoGuessr Gleam. I mean, I can't do. Oh look! See, even the street maps is on a motorbike. There you go. Look at that. That's kind of cheating, isn't it? If I knew that. I only know the Isle of Man from Vexology memes. Their flag, yeah, their flag is pretty out there. Let's go back to the Laxey wheel, because the flag is on the front of it. There you go. That's the flag. It's like a three-legged thing that looks I don't know, looks slightly swastika-y. In World War II. Welcome to the programming stream, everybody. In World War II, we used it as a place to hold. I don't know what you call them, like shell. Great. Okay. Nice. What would you call it? Like people who run away from Germany and are seeking refuge here, but you're like, are they spies? So they like hold them because they don't know if they're safe or not. And it must have been quite horrendous to arrive at the Isle of Man and start to see the like to run away from the Nazis and then see like the Manx flag, which looks like that. Like that can't make you feel good, right? It's got to be a bit scary. The other cute thing about the Isle of Man is that the cats don't have tails. Look at them. Isn't that adorable? I don't know why. Just like cats in the Isle of Man don't have a tail. They just that's somehow interbred out of them. They're so cute. Should I try and do another bit on here? I mean, I've done something. That's quite nice. Ooh. I know that he's Vim. Yeah. What do you mean job is still running? I don't know what that means. Oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. Yeah, no wonder I'm hungry. Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'm going to go have some food and entertain my cat because it's his birthday. Which means we should raid somebody. Shouldn't we? Who's good for raiding these days, eh? Yo, why did you choose the Erlang VM as the bytecode target? Why didn't you go native? Oh, shush. Because I really like the Erlang VM, and it would take me an extremely large amount of time to replicate all of the functionality that the Erlang VM has, to the point where like Gleam wouldn't be anywhere near usable yet. Because we've made a language, we've made tooling, we've made libraries, we've made documentation, we've made websites, we've made community. We've not built a runtime system. We're using an existing runtime system, and runtime systems are hard. That's a place where like you can't so much. Is that true? I mean, there are ways we could have done it. There's probably ways we could have done it. But yeah, I just think I'm a Beam programmer. I've been a Beam programmer for a long time. I really like it. I want to continue using the Beam. So when I was designing my ideal language, I'm like, what are all the things that I want? And a lot of them are the stuff that one of it is I want to use the Beam, right? And I'm happy that like Gleam has grown to be more than just like, oh, it's part of the Beam is what it's called. I think that's why a lot of the people were originally attracted to it. Oh, I'm not logged in. That's why I can't see my recommendations. A lot of people are attracted to it for that reason, and I'm really happy that it's grown past that. It's not just that it's on the Beam, but that is still a really huge draw of the language, I think. Deej is online. We did him last time. I mean, he is always online though. That's cool. Let's at least look at what the other ones are. If we spot any like cool functional programming stuff, then I say we go for that. There he is. Never turns off. Maybe that's it. If you're always online, you can always be raided. Smart guy. And you never have to raid anyone if you don't log off. So it's all video game stuff. I mean, video games are cool, but making a programming language, whoa, that's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. How would Prime wouldn't notice if you raid him, surely. I wish they would split the category into game dev and software dev. Yeah, totally. Does anyone know this person? No, not this person. Misaka. He did Hypergleam. That's true. Maybe I'm tempted to raid this person because like they're making a programming language. Like what could be more cool than making a programming language? The Blue Blob guy is an educational YouTuber. There's a Blue Blob guy? I do quite like the idea of raiding Prime because then like maybe more people find about Gleam. If he says the word Gleam like 3 times, we'll get like another 100 people aware of it. This person's a programmer, a language maker. There, that's so cool. Prime's good at shouting at raiders. Oh, you're Justin helps. Oh, there's the Blue Blob. I was like, he doesn't look like a blue blob. That's really mean. Don't call him a blue blob. Yeah, you're right. They should like 100% split this into game dev and not game dev. Hey, newbie. See, like all you get to see of my cat is his tail. Good boy. What other cool things? Hello. Can you see him? Come on, newbie, come. Hello, he's just in the frame. Newbie, come here. Come closer. Come here. Come on. Come slightly into the frame. He's just not willing. If I could like consistently have a cat in the stream, everyone would watch this channel. 100%. All right, so let's do. What do we think? Which one's better, Prime or Misaka? Exactly. Come for Gleam, stay for the cat. Prime or language creation? Got a shout for, got one prime, 2 for the new person, and neither, whichever. So that's the new person's winning at the moment. Oh, but then over in YouTube, there's a prime, so we're even. Vote prime. Okay, so it's three prime, 1 for the other person. Sorry, programming language creator. Oh, newbie. Yes, I know. Jesus. Right, he's made it very clear what he thinks. It's time to finish this. The prime. Shush. Raid. He's going to be overwhelmed with the sheer influx of Gleam developers. Oh, thanks for coming, everybody. I'm just starting the raid now. The raid settings. I'm not allowed to raid. Oh, that's it sorted then. No raiding. We're gonna go to the other person. I'm not allowed to raid them. I'm gonna have to learn how Twitch works at some point. Oh, they're what do they call it? A VTuber? Is that what it's called? I think that's cool. I would quite want an avatar. Raid this person. This channel is intended for mature audiences. That's okay. I think that's probably fine. All right, bye everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Woo! Have fun. And bye YouTube as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Yeah. Bye bye.